So it's day 276 of Hey, what are you doing today? Well, the days just keep clicking and clicking and clicking. It's the only thing that comes from this is the element of having documented a full year of days. That's kind of intriguing and interesting and all that good stuff. So, but no, there's a lot more that's already come from this. But just what an exciting adventure. But day 276, and I can really feel myself kind of going through this transformational stage, and again, just kind of a totally unexpected element of this endeavor. It was never a goal by any means. It was just as I began pursuing this, all these I mentioned before, all these different branches started opening up, and then here recently I've caught on to this one little river of energy, this little river of awakening, that I'm incredibly grateful to have discovered, incredibly grateful to have as a part of my life, but totally unforeseen and totally unprovoked, totally my initial goals were just to get in good shape and ultimately try to escape from this job I've gotten myself locked into. I think I can only speak for myself, but I think that that's not an uncommon thing for people to get into a job where they're making a certain amount of income and feel like they've got to maintain that income to maintain their lifestyle, to maintain their everything, and then it becomes like almost like we've built our own prison, and there's no way to kick open the door without collapsing the whole deck of cards, the whole house of cards. But what's interesting is, especially now that I put it that way, I'd called it, I wanted to start my own business, but ultimately, I think deep down the goal was just to escape the prison of this job that I have. But but when I put it that way, now all of a sudden, and just kind of just now hit me how this aspect, this new sense of freedom that comes, a new sense of spirituality, how that just eliminates all of that all at once. The I, I came across this thing on New Year's Day. I had kind of touched on it a little bit, a few weeks prior to that, but it was very brief, very fleeting, kind of just to just to taste, just that first little spoonful, and then it just exploded onto the scene on New Year's Day, and I've been chasing it. I'm not chasing it. It's not the right word, but encouraging it ever since. Ever since I've come across it and kind of recognized that the power and the benefit of what it is. However, the last 2 days I've been away from it. It hasn't really been in my mentality. It hasn't really been in my focus. It hasn't been in my life, and I haven't felt it. And that's a large portion of what it is this feeling of bliss, this feeling of elation, this feeling of just total communion with everybody around me. They may not feel it, but I feel it, and not even just people, everything, it's almost like being reborn again. It's almost like being a child again. It's almost like the whole world is fresh and new, and everything is. It's like I'm witnessing things for the first time. I could look at something as simple as a brick in a wall, and all of a sudden I see a newfound beauty in it, a newfound pristine, newfound solitude, a newfound peace, a newfound elation and joy in it that I'd never seen before. And it comes from this energy, this thing that can't be named, that I've discovered inside of me. And but the last 2 days I was away from it, and today I was, I was kind of yearning for it. I wanted to get back in communication with that energy, and I haven't really figured out the way to turn it on and turn it off. Not that I would want to turn it off. Once it's on, I love it, and want to relish in it. I'm not sure what turns it off, but I think I'm starting to discover piece by piece what that is. The thing that I discovered today, or the thing that I became a witness to today, was that the last 2 days the main element that's been on my mind is a car, a vehicle that I have that I was in a minor accident, ran over some road debris, and it caused about, I think, about $3,000 to $4,000 worth of damage. I don't even know. It's been between my insurance company and a body shop. Um, but it's been over a month in a body shop, and I still don't have it. And the work wasn't done very well. I've got a wheel that doesn't match the other three wheels, and really petty things. I mean, this is a physical piece of, it was expensive. I don't want to make light of that. It cost a good deal of money, and it's something that I care about. But you know what? That's what was causing the issue. For the last 2 days, it's almost like I've taken it on a personal level. I've taken it personally that it's been handled poorly, that the job has been handled poorly, that the people that are doing the work have kind of given me a couple different stories. Without being too harsh, they've lied to me about some things, and it's been dwelling on my mind, that the feeling of having been wronged. And you know what it is? It's that sense of self, and being aware of that, and being aware that somebody did something to me, and spending my energy thinking on that and concentrating on that. And that's what has driven me away from this thing. And it was funny because today I was just working, and while I'm working now, I'm usually listening to something, or trying to learn something, taking in some kind of piece of information, and all of a sudden the feeling came back. There was no real trigger, but it came back to me, and in that feeling, all of a sudden, I don't care about the car anymore. I don't care about the mismatched wheel. I don't care about any of it. And in that, that freedom came back. That I'm free of that physical possession that was weighing me down. I'm free of that wrongful action towards the me. It just doesn't matter. I'll take my car back, and I'll be grateful for the different color wheel. I mean, I'll be grateful to have the car. I'll be, but the thing of it is, all that energy that was spent being frustrated by the misinformation that was provided, being frustrated by the amount of time it's taken, being frustrated by the people I'm dealing with, being frustrated by the quality of their work. Once that feeling came back, I realized if I let that go, and it just doesn't bother me at all anymore. I can concentrate on this elation. I can concentrate on looking at things as if they're brand new. I can concentrate on the innocence of that. The only way I know how to describe it is that innocence of being a child, of everything being fresh, and feeling naturally inquisitive. I want to know more about things in this state. I want to feel that whatever it is. I want to. It encourages that. It encourages a sense of communion with everything that's around me. And it's funny because I came across something I've never heard before. I never heard of before. I've never been a very religious person, and for whatever reasons, I was one of those people that had that bias. Religion is a control of man. I think that's used a lot, and what I'm discovering is that man controls spirituality to control man. Man, may. However, when you really get down to the nitty gritty of what that religion is, and what trying to figure out understand what that religion is, it can be so freeing, and it's just so unexpected. But the reason I mentioned that is I came across a term I'd never heard before. I believe it comes from Russian Orthodox Christians, but I'm not sure. And my adventure in spirituality goes way beyond Christianity, or for some reason I like to stay away from that stereotype of Christian, and I don't know why. I think that it's something that I fought all my life. Not fought. That's not a good way to put it, but something that I can relate to people that don't want to hear the, quote, lack of a better word, the Bible beater saying something to them, trying to preach to them. So whenever it comes up to a Christian principle, I notice myself kind of defending myself from that. I need to not worry about myself anymore. It doesn't matter. It's a Christian principle. But anyway, the term was holy fool. The holy fools, which apparently you may still find holy fools out there. It is more common in Russia and Eastern Europe. The little bit that I know about it, but these were men, women that were so caught up in that rapture, that sensation, that Holy Spirit, that they almost seemed crazy to other people. In some regards, they were crazy. I was reading about a guy, well, crazy or not, who's to judge that? I shouldn't say that, but I was reading about a guy that ranted, and he was a holy fool and wore no clothes in the dead of Russian winter. He walked around with wearing nothing, and he was fine. Outside of mentally, or not even. Oh, got interrupted again. But anyway, he was a holy fool and walked around without any clothes in the dead of Russian winter, and was fine. And I can almost relate to that in some regard. I'm wondering if I'm going to become a holy fool. But the sense of peace, the sense of bliss, the sense of communion that is so strong, it relaxes everything. I was thinking about it today. I was so calm and so relaxed once this feeling. Again, I referred to it as the Holy Spirit, or the thing that can't be named, whatever it is. Just a gorgeous energy. But when it came back to me, when I was able to tap back into it, I felt so relaxed. The only way I can describe it is even my eyes felt relaxed. If you can imagine if the eyes after a full body massage, including the eyes. My eyes were relaxed. So I've never even really felt my eyes before. You can kind of feel your pupils when you walk into a dark room or turn on lights, or vice versa. Sometimes you can kind of feel your pupils contract, and that's about as much sensation as I've ever gotten out of my eyes, is that little feeling. However, now when I tap into this energy, when I'm aware of this energy, and this energy is in my conscious, I can actually feel relaxation in my eyes. Just a peculiar side note that I thought I would put in there, and as a way to kind of emphasize this feeling a little bit more in a description. But as I think about it, how does this conflict with? It's so peculiar. It's such a peculiar thing. I feel like I would be totally content to own nothing, have nothing, and be wandering around the world and just sit in this elated feeling, this communal feeling, and I would be fine. I guess that's it. I wonder if I'm becoming a holy fool. Day 276. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.